episode. Hello everybody, Tyrone TG3 here. I know it's been a while, but we got Pokemon Horizons, episode 21, a Hatenna all alone. So, I want to clarify here real quick. Normally, I've been going through the process of doing 2 reviews at once because 2 episodes would usually match in some way thematically. Based on the episode list that I'm seeing right in front of me, and I haven't seen any spoilers or anything, I haven't watched anything ahead of time, and I know this is extremely dated, but I wanted to see what was going on. Based on what I see, the 2 episodes that come after this feel more congruent with each other, so I'm going to review those 2 episodes together. So for now, we get 1 review, but it's a review that needs to be done, obviously, before we get to the other 2. So, again, Hatenna Alone, episode 21. This episode gets straight to the point. I mean, it's more or less just one of those, like, Liko is talking about getting another Pokemon. More or less, Anne brings it up. And it's good to see that Anne is making those regular calls. Continuous character is always good to see. And while that's happening, Liko actually puts off catching another Pokemon. She says she wants to learn more about Sprigatito first. But then she runs into Hatenna and starts to understand it in a way that nobody else could at that time. And I think this is okay. I think this is a good... It's definitely aiming towards her goal. Her goal is to understand Pokemon a bit better. So she might become a researcher, but she might become like a psychological researcher or an emotional one. Someone who like breaks down the psychologics behind a Pokemon. I remember there was that one old episode in Johto where Nurse Joy talks about Pokemon going through mental therapy, and Ash goes, "You mean there's a Pokemon called therapy?" Like just hilarious stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely looking like she is growing and understanding with not just any Pokemon, but the Pokemon that literally lives off of feelings. It's based off of emotion. So it's interesting to see that she's growing a bond with it. She has a close moment with it, and Hatenna makes the decision to just sort of travel with her. And at that point, she does end up catching the Hatenna. Very short episode to me, though. That's the one thing. It felt very short. I don't know if that's just me. Yeah, she got the chance to talk with a lot of people about it, but the episode does feel kind of short. I think when you compare it to like Roy's episode where he caught Wattrel, technically it took 2 episodes for him to catch it. The first episode was him teaching Wattrel to fly. The second episode was him actually catching Wattrel. Whereas here there is no like Liko gaining a bond with Hatenna except for in that episode. Everything happens in congruence in that episode. Now, to be fair, that's also because they weren't dealing with a secondary plot. They weren't dealing with Team Explorers as a subplot around this time, so they weren't balancing the plots back and forth. Team Explorers appears at the end of this episode, but mostly just to show that Amaltheo is going his own route now and disobeying orders, but he still gets his subordinates helping him out, which I think is very good. It's giving off big Zuko vibes from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we definitely see where this is going. So it's good to see that that plot is coming in through. And again, I wanna say more about this episode, and I apologize if this review is going to be short. It's just, to be fair, out of like the conversation she has with Dot, the conversation she has about Hatenna, like, most of the beats to each of the plots just sort of come together. I feel like Hatenna's going to have some later backstory that we learn about, maybe. But as of right now, I mean, all we're really getting is her and Hatenna. Like, all we're really getting is that her combining her emotions with Hatenna and making them feel better. And Liko actually feels a little bit better now, too. You can see that her spirits have been uplifted a bit more. Even the others stated, like, hey, yeah, we've noticed you've been down recently ever since the Levincia arc. And it's very obvious that catching Hatenna has been that first step in order to make her feel a lot better, to make her feel more sure of herself. And it means she has a second Pokemon. And honestly, I'm liking it. I'm liking the team. I'm liking that Roy has Wattrel and Fuecoco, and I'm liking that Liko has Sprigatito and Hatenna. Weird that we didn't get to see Wattrel this episode, though. I will say that we did not see Wattrel this episode at all. Or maybe we probably did. Maybe it was in the background. I just wasn't paying attention. But like you would think they would show Wattrell off more, just considering that they're showing off like, oh, this trainer has 2 Pokemon now. This trainer has 2 Pokemon. Like Liko turns to Ann and it's like Ann caught Sandshrew. Now she has Oshawott and Sandshrew. She turns to Roy and Roy has Fuecoco and Wattrell. In this episode, she's definitely thinking a lot about her character and what direction she's going to. And she's definitely really going in to think about that. Roy definitely has a lot of confidence in her ability in order to like sense out Pokemon feelings. I'm not sure how he gets that just by like the interactions they've had, but he's very confident on Liko's ability to do this. I would say it feels a little forced, but we have seen Liko understand Pokemon in some way, shape, and form in some sense, so it's not completely pulled out of nowhere. So I'll give her that. And like I said, the training she did with Kabu definitely helped her think more about the feelings that she has with others. I mean, hell, in that very same arc, in the Kabu stuff, the whole issue was that Liko was sensing other people's feelings, and that's why she was holding herself back. Now she's sensing other people's feelings, and it's helping her move forward. She turned her weakness into a strength, which thematically I think is really good. So, again, apologize if this review isn't as long as it should be, but she caught Hatenna. Like, that was the episode. So, when the next time we come back, we'll be hitting episode 22 and 23. Clash, the Galar Mine, and Galarian Moltres blaze up. Based on the titles, I feel like these 2 episodes are supposed to be together. So, I'm going to go ahead and review them both as a whole. So that'll pretty much be like the Galarian Moltres arc. I don't know much else outside of like the screenshots. I didn't watch any of the previews. So I'll be watching that episode at some point and reviewing both of those episodes around the same time. So until then, I will see you all then, everybody. Tyrone TG3, out.
Yeah, I'm happy because that was my anime.
I need to watch that. There's a bunch of anime. Yeah, we can't make it. Yeah, we're not Sonic. We're not. I come in with blue eyes. I got something for your blue eyes, boy.